Jackson Radio Show.
All right, everybody, welcome back. Let's do some tweets. But, before we get into that, here's what I want to tell you. Nancy Pelosi stood for 8 hours, and it's amazing to me everything that this woman stood for. By the way, one of the memes that I saw about her was she stood for 8 hours talking about illegals and would not stand at all for Americans during President Trump's State of the Union. Didn't stand for the military, didn't stand for black unemployment, didn't stand for all these other things. 8 hours. Didn't stand for the 1.3 million military people we have, in the military right now, some of whom are deployed. 50,000 homeless veterans. Won't stand for 15 million children in poverty. Won't stand for 22 military suicides, killed, people that are dying every day. 500,000 homeless Americans. Black people who are overly incarcerated. Won't stand for all of the different ills of society that we are currently experiencing, but she will stand 8 hours to talk about illegals and use little kids as the backdrop of, little Marquez from Guatemala, my son wants to be him, my grandson. I couldn't believe she said that. I thought, how silly of you to say something so insane that your child, a white child, has been made to feel so guilty that he wants to have brown hair and brown eyes and whatever else little, size 14 feet of 3-year-old little Marco from Guatemala. How crazy is this? This kid's got an identity crisis and his grandma's feeding into it. You're exactly right. You could be a little brown baby and be so much more cuter. Really? How about you just enjoy being who you are as a baby, as a human being? You could appreciate Marco's whatever it is. I mean, that's like seeing some, handsome guy. I got a buddy, Kirby, super good looking guy. I mean, you go, wow, Kirby's a good looking guy. If you go somewhere with him, believe me, you'll know it because the girls are just crazy about him. And rightfully so. He's a good looking guy. But, I don't sit around going, gosh, I sure wish I was Kirby. I just kind of liked hanging around him. There's lots of fallout, if you know what I'm saying, Yeah, but, so what are you talking about? You're my using that as a thing, and all these examples of people. All he wanted is a little dream, an American dream. Yeah, what about all the people who've been killed by these clowns, killed by MS-13 gangs, killed by illegals over here, living under the radar, as they like to put it, drunk drivers committing other crimes? Who knows? What about them? What about the ones who've been killed? I know ranchers who've been killed. I know individuals who've been killed because I do this immigration event almost every year, and we talk about these stories, and it's harrowing. Somebody said, why don't you put a brick, when you build that wall, you put a section in that wall for everybody who's been killed by an illegal. How about we tout them? Nancy Pelosi stood for 8 hours. By the way, after having voted to give Donald Trump his budget that did not include DACA, she stands for 8 hours saying, oh, wow, it should have included DACA, but I did vote for it. She voted for it because she was in a rock and a hard place. And she thought that this little stunt was going to do something more for her. It was going to do nothing because she'd already gotten her buttocks kicked. Welcome to the party, Hillary Clinton said to Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer. You want to know what it feels like to get your butt kicked by somebody you underestimated? You just did it. How many other things could this woman have looked at? The number of kids who aren't getting into college because some dreamer is, the number of jobs lost because some so-called dreamer has taken that job, or some other illegal. Lives lost. Other services that aren't available to Americans. They're burdening every aspect of our system. I'm not just talking about the dreamers. I have sympathy for people, for kids whose parents have made bad decisions and brought them to a country illegally, and these kids don't know anything about it, or they do feel victimized because they understand, you know what, I'm not legal. I don't know if I can come out of the shadows. If you tell me, Kevin, you shouldn't feel anything for them, I'm going to tell you you're heartless because you should feel something for them. I'm not shifting on this idea. I'm looking at it from a human being perspective. What if my parents had done it? They probably felt like, I'll do anything to get over there. It's a better way of life. We'll let the chips fall where they may. But the chips have fallen onto me. You don't think we should address that? Of course we should. But we're not going to give them away. We're not going to say, okay, well, your parents made a mistake, but so you're okay. No, you got to get in line. You got to come out of the shadows and say, you know what? I didn't make this mistake. My parents did. And if somebody doesn't have, if the Democrats aren't saying to these dreamers, look, we got your back in terms of this, shame on them. Because they should. They should have been saying to these guys, come out. We will protect you. The president is a reasonable man. He understands this. They're not saying that. He's proven that he's a reasonable guy in this respect. Proven it. And they don't care. Donald Trump says, they said there's 600,000. He goes, you know what? I think there are more. I think there are more. I believe there are 1.8 million. I believe the majority of them don't want to come out. So you want to come out, we got your back. But you're going to get in this line and you're going to do it the right way. And you know what we would create? We would create 1.8 million people who are now in this country doing it the right way, who have an incentive, who say, you know what? I'm never going to Guatemala. I'm never going to Mexico. I'm never going to El Salvador. I want to be an American. And if whatever it takes, I'm willing to do it. You're going to bring people now with work ethic who then go back to their families and explain what's going on. And they're talking to their grandmothers and grandfathers and uncles and aunts and saying, you know what? I'm going to do this the right way. I'm no longer going to have to hide in the shadows. I'm going to apply myself. That's an American I take. This is an opportunity for us. This is an opportunity to take something that the Democrats have said they're going to do. Donald Trump would own immigration. I'm the one who brought you here. The Republican Party, not the Democrats. Any Latino that is looking at this has to be looking at this and saying, wow, he did this. Oh, the Democrats have an ulterior motive. They want to bring everybody else over for votes. But the people who are over here who get it will change their, they'll go, oh, I don't care about bringing over Uncle Julio and all that. He promised to take care of our people that were here, and he did it. We can steal this from them because it isn't even to be stolen. It's something they stole. And they stole it not for the right reasons, not because they care about the Latino community. They stole it because that's what they do. If you haven't seen the last couple of months or a couple of years, if you're really paying attention, you'll see Democrats do nothing except steal. They do nothing except erode. Everything they touch turns to, let's all say it together, turd. So this is a great thing. And Trump knows it. Even if a lot of the conservative movement, I don't like it. I think it's, but Donald Trump knows the strategy of this. He is the guy who wrote The Art of the Deal. And if you're watching it play out, it's beautiful. They took DACA off the table for the budget for a reason. Donald Trump's going to get what he wants. I told you guys, I said, these people are out there playing Tina and Tommy Tough Butt. They are not going to get what they want. Donald Trump's going to get his budget. It's going to be a 2-year budget, and he's going to get DACA done the way he wants to do it. And he's going to get his border wall, and he's going to get all, the no chain migration and all the other stuff too.
This is the Kevin Jackson Radio Show.